Peace. What's going on? We're on. I'm about to say sample challenges. Behind the boards, episode 8. You know what I mean? And we're not even in the United States on this one. We're Germany, and my man Pariah Rebels in Norway. You know what I'm saying? This is what's up, man. The Snowgoons, man. I mean, we got no Pariah Rebels in the building. That's my people's. DJ Illegal, Leo RecNplay is my people's. Producers Corner. Deck Keller and DJ Crypt, man. Snowgoons, man. Damn, this is big right here. I know, you know what I mean? I'm not familiar with you guys separately. I'm just familiar with your music. I just know Illegal because we've been staying in contact for a while now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nine for that. Nine hooked that up. You know what I'm saying? But what got you guys? I want to start. I mean, what got you guys to start doing it in the first place? Whoever want to go first,
Yeah, man. I mean. You know, we all started as kids, I guess. You know, pretty much everybody got in the hip hop culture as kids, and then me starting out as a DJ, basically graffiti and DJing, and then came from the DJing to producing, and that's when I also met Dad back in the days in the 90s, and we started doing mixtapes, and then we wanted to have some more exclusive stuff, but for us as Europeans, it's pretty tough because. When you're in New York, you have all dudes coming in and out into the studios, and you can record some exclusive joints, and this was the pre-internet era when we in Germany had no connections to anybody in New York like that, So we got creative and we start doing remixes on our mixtapes because that was the only thing to make us exclusive in a way, to dropping exclusive mixtapes. And then we start mashing up in the beginning just regular instrumentals with other acapellas. But then we realized pretty soon we should do some even more exclusive, let's do own instrumentals. So we start producing beats for the remixes basically, and then and then build it from there basically. But that was the whole start.
That's
for
crazy.
The Snowgoons. Yeah.
That's crazy. You guys really keeping it really, really, really alive over there too. You know what I mean? It's dope. You know what I mean? 'Cause y'all come and then you come with another project and then with another project and with another project. Oh, now to work with these guys, because you guys got the actual love, the same exact love I have for it over here. I'm from Connecticut. You know what I mean? I'm not from New York. I'm 2 hours from the Bronx and shit. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the early 80s as a breaker and shit. You know what I mean? And started DJing in 85 and been doing it all my life. You know what I mean? I'm kind of feel how you guys feel. But I'm just closer, you know what I mean? I'm in the United States, you know what I mean? The first time I experienced a real rapper was Mikey D from LA Posse in 1987 coming to my house and rapping and telling me he told me he gave LL Cool J his name, and I'm like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there thinking in my mind, because LL Cool J was the man to me at that time, you know what I mean? But
that's a funny story, Stress, because where I live in Germany, the part is Bavaria. With the beer and the Bavaria Munich, pretty popular and well known. But since World War II, the U.S. forces are or were stationed in Bavaria. So in my town also, and I ran into some high school kids when I was 15, 16, playing basketball, always hanging around on post. And me and my buddy was the only white guys in the whole gym playing basketball, And these guys, they got all these mixtapes from Hot 97 and WPLS, Mr. Matchy's Rap Attack. Yeah. Somebody in New York, sent them over these tapes. So and I was pretty much the only German guy who got them, And there was Mikey D in the LA Posse. I remember 86 or something. He won some battle, some award or something.
Yeah, he won the New War seminar. He beat Melly Mel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I bought his 12-inch, and it was pretty hard to get it over here in Europe, super exclusive, super underground. But I was really feeling that guy, Mikey D and the LA Posse.
That would be dope if y'all did something with him. If y'all did some shit with him, that'd be dope because he's still doing it to this day. You know what I mean? He's on. Him and his DJ Johnny Quest. That was the LA Posse, Johnny Quest, Mikey D, and Paul C and shit. You know what I'm saying? It stands for Laurelton Ave. You know what I mean? It doesn't stand for Los Angeles. In New York and shit. I always used to think that when I got the record. I was this is Los Angeles. We know when you were younger. Yeah, you'd grab any record that you didn't know when you were young, when you go record digging and shit, because you'd be like, this might be some shit. Let me see so I can show
Exactly.
people. Sometimes it sucks, and then sometimes it's like, oh shit. It'll be like the B-side, the little song, not the single, or it'll be that extra little song. You're like,
exactly.
yeah. It's crazy. But let me get more background on you guys individually. Like, you know what I mean? You guys like who was your like influences in you know what I mean to get you to start?
Yeah, I can start off. Like you said, you started DJing in '85, and I started like break dancing in '84, '85. You know, with the
I was still
electric,
yeah,
and stuff. You know, like Break Machine and all this stuff. Rocksteady Crew, of course. And I think when you really when the music hits you, you know, and got you in your heart.
Yeah.
With breakdance, it was not, you know, a lot of soul and funk and some of the Rocksteady Crew or Pac Jam by Johnson Crew and all that.
Yeah.
I automatically transferred to hip hop, what I call started out as rap, you know, with some of the samplers in the '80s, electro. I think they came originally from the UK, a compilation with rap songs on there. So I ran into songs like Shantae and Biz Marquee, Me and Biz and the Get Fresh Crew and all that stuff, you know.
Yep.
And then I found out, like, for me, rap really did it, you know. And I stopped listening for a while to soul and stuff, you know. I got more into hip hop. So a big influence for me was, I gotta say, like the very first album, LL Cool J, you know, Can't Live on the Radio. And then what really was like a really changed everything for me was Eric B. and Rakim Paid in Full album.
That album's dope.
Public Enemy, because they were all on tour. The whole Def Jam crew was in Europe, you know, and I saw them.
That's big.
And Public Enemy was just about to blow up, you know, with Run DMC and Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper, LL Cool J, and all of them, you know.
Yeah.
And so I came into that and was a huge Big Daddy Kane fan and Coogee Rap fan, you know, the whole Cold Chilling, just like when I was digging through the grades and I saw that Cold Chilling label. Boom, there you go. I knew like 100% good music, you know, quality hip hop. And in the '90s, I really say like every town, every borough, and every country has something to offer and something to add to hip hop. But for me, the Queensbridge, man, whatever they did, Nas and Mobb Deep, for some reason, they was always living under my skin, you know. So that was the '90s. Before that, Royal Flush, big shout out to Royal Flush. We worked with them, and Tragedy Gaddafi and all these guys.
We need the intelligent hold on this shit.
CNN and all of them, you know.
Hell yeah, the Queen.
That's pretty much the way where I come from.
All right. What you got? Illegal, what you got?
Well, you know, influence-wise, it's I mean, I was pretty young. I wasn't even speaking English when I started listening to hip hop, you know. Like for me, it was all about the music. I couldn't really understand the words and stuff, but you know, the music was still speaking to me in a way, you know, even without the language, basically. And so since I can more or less remember, I was listening to hip hop. Beside also, of course, you know, like Michael Jackson, whatever was like the music back then in the late '80s and shit. And then, but I just remember the first time I really realized, because it was just normal for me to listen to music, right? And I loved hip hop and whatever, but it was not really like the term hip hop in my head, like, oh yeah, this is, for me, it was just music in generally. But then in '93, I was like 16, I guess, I heard Nas Illmatic, like that album. And at that time, I wasn't still speaking English. I could like, you know, like some words, whatever. But like when I remember I was listening to Illmatic in a hip hop store in Mannheim in Germany at the record store, and I was listening to the whole album from end to back, and it was really like I could understand it basically, right? But it like that album did something to my head. It was not only the beats, it was everything. And I remember when because this was like, you know, we was going to the bigger cities for shopping, and then we went record shopping, and I bought the album. And then on the way home, which is like roughly an hour to my home, I couldn't wait to get home and play that record again, you know, like, because it was not like now where you have the music on your phone and on the go, you know, you could just really have the records to play the music or the tapes maybe in the car. But then like we bought the record and we was shopping, continuing in the city, and I just wanted to go home and play that record again. And I just remember it so vivid because I literally ran out the car and like, you know, went home and like put the record back on the record player, you know, and like that was, I guess, for me always a milestone in my life where I knew like this music, like this is what I love and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, basically, you know, without even knowing I'm going to become a DJ, a producer, or whatever, you know, but that was still like some button was pushed inside of me. So I would say, just as for a single incident, it was Nas Illmatic when I heard it the first time.
All right. DJ Crypt, what's up, man?
Yeah, it was good, man. I would say like back in the days, my parents had just like a kind of satellite on the roof, and we were able to get MTV, so we also could look MTV, MTV Raps and stuff like that. A couple of years after we had like a hip hop show in German television. It was called Freestyle, and my brother was always into hip hop already, and not just in the beginning. I was just into graffiti, and it wasn't about the music, personally speaking, but then with the graffiti, it all came together. Like in '96, I started doing graffiti, and in '99, I started DJing, and overall these steps, the producing also came into my life, and yeah, it was a good time. Like my brother, he was a big hip hop fan. He also did some rapping, but he just quit pretty soon. But then I just got the virus, and till today the virus is still active and just ruling my life. So I'm still doing also graffiti. So since March I've been the owner of a graffiti shop now in my town in Stuttgart in the south of Germany. So now I'm just doing more graffiti again. And yeah, besides all DJing and producing, that's what we want to do. Because right now, because of Corona, because of the lockdown, we are not able to DJ anymore since March.
Yeah, it's here too. That's crazy. You gotta do
So
the video
DJ
stuff.
thing just completely broke down, and yeah, just that's what I do. Just to make my money right now. It's just being the owner of the graffiti shop and just doing cuts and productions like for several people. So that's my story, definitely.
That's crazy. Yo, Leo, you got a question for him? Leo RecNplay is also in Germany. You got a question? Pariah, because I know you told me he was a big inspired by the Snowgoons. He told me, he's like, yeah, I'll go in there. And
Sure.
You got a question for them before I go into it? Or?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about what happened to Waxwork. Why did you split and stuff?
DJ Waxwork.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like with all families, sometimes you just, you know, split apart. It's like we just, you know, we took Waxwork under our wings, and I basically teach him a lot of stuff, you know, like he kept showing up in I was working in a record store at the late 90s too, right? And he popped off as a little kid, and I'm teaching him like scratching and everything in the store. And he became, he was very talentful, you know, like he became super quick, way better than me. And like, you know, cause he just didn't do anything else but practicing in the first 2 years or whatever. Right. So after school, like he was just like 24/7 on the turntables. And that was the same with the producing. You know, he was so interested in everything. And since he was kind of my student, we offered him to do cuts on the very first 12-inch. Like it's actually in this corner all the way up there. The 12-inch here with Social Race, Priest Everflowing, and Jay Sands. We offered him to do some cuts there. This was before he basically was in the Snowgoons. And because I told him, if you're gonna be this dope by that time, you can do the cuts for this song. And he actually did it. So he was very motivated and did the cuts and everything. So and then it was the same with the producing, you know. He wanted to learn, and I, you know, took him under my wings, and we showed him some stuff, and he learned pretty fast, you know. Like he was a very talented like kid when it comes to the music, basically. So he started producing, and then, you know, we gave him some samples, because that was maybe his where he lacked the most, basically, you know, like with samples. Because, for example, that is a very dope sample digger, you know. He brings mainly all the samples from the Goons, you know, into the team, and spreads them around and shit. But anyway, so we was doing beats, and then ultimately what really happened was, because he felt like he's already on a bigger level than Snowgoons, and he want to do his own thing, you know, which we all like spoke about it, and agreed that he can split apart and do his thing if he really wanted that, you know. So looking back right now, I just think like he being a super young kid, like it got everything a little bit to his head, you know, like by people picking him up and stuff, and then of course, you know, I dragged him to all the shows and to all the parties and shit, you know, and he got from basically zero into all of our realm. And I think that got a little bit into his head, you know, in the long run, because then he thought, like, we really had conversations where he was saying like, man, listen, I'm better than all y'all, basically, you know, I do better beats, and I just want to do my own thing. And we was like, all right, you know what, then, you know, if you want to go your own way, we're not going to hold you back, you know. We in the Snowgoons, we always work as a team, you know. The team is only as strong as every individual, you know, like everybody brings some to the table in the whole team. And he wasn't just basically a team player. So that was the main thing. And then he split apart. And from what I know is like, we also kind of personally then split apart. And the last thing I heard, he did some drum and bass, trip hop kind of productions. And then, I don't know, maybe even a year later, he totally vanished. He deleted all his accounts and everything. I don't know. I guess he understood that, like, you know, the way he was thinking, like doing this thing in this industry is like not just only doing dope beats or having dope cuts. There's way more to it, you know, like the whole business, the whole connection, the whole everything, basically, you know. It's like, if you're not an all-around good dude, basically, you're not gonna bring it far in this industry, you know, to say. So I guess that's what really happened to Waxwork. So ultimately, there was never really a beef or anything, you know. It's of course always, there's a little bit drama, like in every family when somebody split or goes apart or whatever, you know. But ultimately, though, we don't hold any grudges or whatever. And like I said, he basically vanished. He deleted all his profiles years ago already now, and we have no contact to any of his people or whatsoever. So I guess he just quit doing music, you know.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, how old was he now? 19, half of my age back then. And I gotta give it to him, like, he was young, and he, you know, but if you want to get into the game from Europe, it's not, or in common, it's not that you're the best producer on the planet. I personally think, like, probably there's one of the best producers in every country. France probably got one of the best producers, not signed, not heard, not something, you know. But that's not the point. It's just like in sports, you know. It's not that you have to be the best, but you have to bring more to the table. And what the Snowgoons had was Manu working his ass off, going on tour with all these guys from overseas, you know, connecting. And this is one thing. If you're not able to put in 24/7, it's not like the world waits for your production. And I think that's what he learned. What I heard from him is he started going to college with 2021, like learning 3-4 European languages, Spanish, Greek, English, French, and all of that. And I'm pretty sure he finished college and just worked on, you know. I don't know if he's into music. Manu says like drum and bass. That's what I heard, a couple of productions as well, but no more hip hop. And I think, I don't even know, man. Like Manu said, it was no beef or anything, but we consider like we play as a team. You know, Manu and me started out as a team, added more people like musicians to a production team, and that's how it works. And if you're a team player, you're super very welcome. If you're a solo player, it's all good, you know. That's what we have to find out, and then we just split ways.
Yeah,
After that.
you guys worked with a lot of people, man. It's crazy. You look, you go back and you grab all the golden age artists, and then y'all do albums with that shit is dope, man. I know you guys are about to drop our Lords of the Underground album. Am I correct?
Right.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah. I know you did
Actually,
Nine and Onyx.
actually, all the
MOP.
songs are recorded. Everything is recorded. We're right now in the process of like arranging and mix downs and like final touches.
Yeah, I remember when Nine was doing a bunch of stuff, and he said that once you guys started sending them beats, he's like he never heard beats so big, like so the mix and everything was crazy to him. Like he's like these guys are some serious dudes. I remember he told I'm like for real. He goes yeah. I'm like that's what's up, man. Because I heard I know M Dot. I know M Dot from a long time ago, and he used to talk about you guys before I even heard about you guys. Like me and him went to Switzerland together and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was DJ because I used to be if I see him again, I'm Crumb Snatcher's DJ. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we went to go on a plane to go to Switzerland, and we had to go to France first and then go to Switzerland for the the layover. And and Crumb couldn't make it, and we're at the airport before we left, and Crumb's like, "Yo, just go." So we went, and then that's how me and M Don, he kept mentioning you guys. Yo, these Snowgoons guys are dope and shit. I'm like, who's the Snowgoons? And they told him this is like 2006 or 2007 maybe when that happened. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but you guys are big. When everybody talk about, one of my interviews we was doing a couple episodes ago, Destroy from Arsonist. So if you want to do some music, you want to fuck with it, goes, you ever heard of the Snowgoons? We're like, of course we have. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, and it's dope. It's dope. Because you guys heard of the PMD joint, the MOP, the Onyx, Lords of the Underground. Like, I'll follow you. You know, I be watching. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And it's dope. You know what I mean? And I appreciate y'all for help keeping that alive. You know what I mean? Because y'all got the same love that I got for it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, if I try to do what y'all do out here, it's not going to be the same and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, out here, these people, they're on this stupid shit that's on the radio. They're trying to get that money. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to stereotype or critic, you know, saying that music's whack, whatever. It's just that it's not my era. You know what I'm saying? It's not that what I do and shit. But what you guys do is what I listen to. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope. You know what I mean? You guys, the people say, anybody that I know that say overseas, besides the United States, is doing it is Snowgoons. I don't hear no other names that's like that big and shit. And that's big, yo.
All right, thanks, man.
I mean, people that, you know, they look at that shit like, oh, that's what's up. Like, for real. I mean, did I ask you already what brought y'all together? Like, did I already, like, ask y'all that? Like, how many is there of y'all total?
Well, you know, the
whole team.
Yeah, the Snowgoons itself, it's me, Det, and Signature as the Snowgoons, the producer team. Yep. And then we have also the Snowgoons DJs, which is DJ Crypt, a part of it, and Denetic and 6K, and then of course again myself. But in the recent time though, like the Snowgoons DJs, they also step into the producing more and more. Which they have done kind of always separately, or, you know, not really main focus, but now I think in the next 2-4 years we will have a change, and, you know, and it's going to be even more beats from us kind of in a way, like with everybody in the crew. So, but overall that's like the really the main crew. So we like basically 7 people. I
see that Crypt's got a drum machine back there, so I think he's more than a DJ, right? You got to be making beats too? That's alive back there? Is that alive?
No, that's just Cubase. I was just recording some 12 inches.
That's over there. What is that with the drum pads? That's the drum pads on it, right? I mean,
that's a MPC 1000. That's a DJ mixer.
Oh, okay.
And here I got my SP12.
Oh shit! All
Take off the blanket, Crypt.
S950. You want to get that shit dusty? I know how that. Nice. Yo, the SB1200. I thought you said the SB12. Yeah, that's what's up. Yo, them shits are expensive, man. Them shits are expensive. Is that an S950 under it?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're not playing, man. He's taking us back to that 90s shit. That Pete Rock fucking shit. That fucking Large Professor shit.
No finesse, man. No finesse.
Oh yeah, shout out to Lord Finesse, yo, definitely.
What up, man?
You guys got any future artists besides those underground you guys working out for projects that are coming out?
Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We just finished the project with Planet Asia.
Oh,
that's
shit.
basically done. Yep. Damn, what else we working? I mean, I know Signature is working on his solo album, so there will be coming some new music from him as well. Because, you know, Signature is in Denmark, actually. He's not from Germany.
Oh, okay.
So he's over there in Denmark, Copenhagen. But he constantly working, and he got some new music as well with Napoleon the Legend, because they just started a new crew, the Super Kaiju. So they always busy working on stuff, of course. And we finished Trapped in America Part 2 with NBS from Boston.
I heard of them. Yep, I heard of them.
Yeah, we just dropped a new single because of what's going on right now. I mean, we was working on the album for quite a while now, but now is obviously the good time to, you know, to finish it up and finally put it out. Because that has always also been a very important issue for us, obviously, you know, and I guess especially for us coming from Germany, it always is important for us to show a face and, you know, and fight against racism. Though I was just kind of, you know, caught up in a conversation online with somebody who was trying to, you know, play like the German Nazi card and shit like that. And I was telling him, like, listen, I did already a song in '93 with my German crew back in the days, right? And it's called basically The White Rose, you know, from the movement, the anti-Nazi movement. And we did a song dedicated to them in '93. So that's when I was doing already basically music against racism, you know, since '93, basically. But yeah, so beside that, the NBS joint will drop soon, I guess. And we're working also on a couple of different projects that I even can't really mention though, because they're like, you know, way too just way to the beginning. Yeah, but and then also we just did like over the last weeks a project with K-Press. He's from Jersey. He's like a super talented young kid, and we just finished that project as well. So there will be definitely coming a lot of music soon.
That's how is it? Is it out there in Germany? Is it a lot of prejudice, racism out there, or is it?
Yeah,
different? I mean, out here we get it. You know what it is in the United States. You know what I'm saying? But and it's crazy. Hip hop was supposed to help that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you would think it would.
It's so weird, right? Right now, when you see like fucking so-called hip hop fans like being kind of racist or whatever, like
I don't fuck with none of that shit, yo.
Nah, man, it's really weird times, man. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk it like sweet or whatever, you know. There's definitely a lot of racists in Germany as well, you know, and obviously, you know, but also on the flip side, I got to say there is definitely a lot of white people here, you know, that that against that shit as well, you know. So it's kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's not even a balance, because it's definitely way more people, you know, that are like against racism basically. But of course there is asshole peoples everywhere, you know. Like sometimes I just don't understand how people can be so dumb, and like racism itself makes no sense to me. Yeah, it's like, it's so fucking weird to me, because I don't understand really the concept of racism, you know. Like, I mean, I do understand it, but it makes no sense to me, you know. Like, we all humans, and it's like just hating somebody by the color of his skin or his religion or where he's coming from or whatever. It's just fucking stupid, you know. And every normal breathing human being should know that, basically, you know. Like it's really kind of crazy to me that you actually have to say like Black Lives Matters, you know. Like I mean, I understand and it makes sense to do it, but like at the same time, I'm like, why we even have to say that, you know? It's sad that we have to say it, you know. So, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of racism going on in Germany as well, and I would say all over Europe, you know. It's a worldwide virus that has to die out, definitely, man.
Yeah, man. I wish we could just eliminate all the racist people.
Word,
That's it. Just get rid of all the racist people. Let's put them on their own planet. Go be racist over there. Let us all fucking live here and be good with each other.
Just want their own racism country, then they can do whatever they want. But just one locked up country,
a little island, yeah. And then it gets
crazy because the country I come to with fucking Hitler and all that back in the days. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like the World War II whole situation. I mean, you know, and people hold that people accountable for that in the future. And we got nothing to do with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'd have probably been in, I'm not Jewish, but I probably would have been in the fucking gas chambers with them and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's a whole different time. And you don't know what it's like when you're in that time and that place. Like, I can't say I'll go there now and I'm going to be different. I'm still going to be the same person when I'm there, like everybody else and shit. You know what I'm saying? In my situation. So it's crazy. But I don't want to keep going into that too much. Let's talk about the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, what do you guys use to make beats? Dad, what do you use?
Mom's already said, look, unlike the crate digger, of course, nowadays the internet as well, I use all of that, you know. Exactly.
I got a whole, well, I got about like 6,000 in the room behind me and shit. Yeah, but.
I need to come over and flip all of them, you know. No, just kidding. Yeah. But you know, like Manu said, you know, I used to bring most, like 90% of the samples used to the table, and it's Manu and me was always the team. You know, it's not like I got equipment at home, so I always like dig into the music, and I go to Manu and we link up, and we, you know, we meet for a weekend or a couple of days during the week. Bang out, believe it or not, one day, 20 beats, boom, 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 because this is possible to work because we do it 20 years now. That's like one thing. It's like a team and everybody knows his role and everything. But on the other side, when I come to Manu, it's like I already have the sample, and I send him the song, and I tell him like, okay, sample starts 10 seconds into the song until 17 seconds into the song. So everything is already lined up and set up like already a scheme or a sketch, you know. Yeah. And then we just have to put the pieces together.
Like
that's why we don't.
It's
like a fact, because exactly, because when we meet, we have a lot to talk about future projects, about where we at with projects, about money, about taxes and everything. You know how it goes. And also we have to do the beats, and therefore, like you say, it's like a factory then. But the creative moment is when we all sit by ourselves and, you know, like with headphones, listening to music. You know, you need the ear, therefore you need the time to be creative. You know, if you're stressed out from day work or whatever, you know, for the kids or everything, it's not working. Sometimes I listen to songs and I don't hear sample, you know. Then I'm all like fresh in my head and everything. I listen to these samples. So when Manu and me meet, it's just boom, 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 boom. Yeah. It's like already a scribble or whatever, you know, and that's why we need like 30 to 60 minutes for one beat, and like 2 to 3 days, and I drive home and got 25 new beats, you know, or 15 new beats, whatever, you know.
Oh, that's dope.
But yeah, I mean, we started out, or I personally started out like with the S900, the Akai S900, by making loops, you know. And then I connected it later on to an Atari computer, basically, to sequence it, right? And I was feeling always way more comfortable to sequence a beat and to see, because I liked it to fuck really with the samples and kind of chop it up and loop it different, right? And so when I was on an MPC, it was always too tough for me with the buttons, you know, like I felt like I couldn't do so much because it was very limited with the time and with the length of the samples, basically, because I liked it to flip sometimes like super long samples, you know. There were some beats, there's actually really some tracks out where we have like almost like a 16-bar loop, like it goes all the way through. That can happen too, you know. I mean, of course, mainly it's short loops, but I felt always more comfortable with the sequence. And then when we got actually pretty early into the Mac world and using Logic. Like we pretty much used one of the first Logic that was out there, you know. And since that, we keep rocking with Logic. I really like Logic because nowadays even it's cool to have it on the laptop. I can travel because I traveled so much, so it's easier to do the music on the laptop for pre-production, and then obviously going back to the lab, you know, to let out the beats like and make them really bang. But to me, that was always the easiest one in Logic, because you literally just drag and drop a sample in there, and then you can fuck with it, you know. And that was always the very convenient for me. And I think Logic has a very solid, good sound all over, you know, and has a lot of plugins, and it's just easy. I mean, ultimately, it's nothing different than like Cubase or any other like Acid or whatever, any sequencer, you know. But for me, for some reason, the Logic was always like the thing to go. So, and that's where we're still working on. And I know Crypt, for example, is working on some with different equipment.
Yeah, I just started doing working in Cubase because of just doing mixtapes in the beginning and doing cuts for songs in the beginning, and then I just started doing beats with the MPC. I just had the MPC 2000 XL back in the days. Then I had the MPC 1000, and then just I could get a SP 1200 for a good price. And but now I changed from Cubase into Ableton because there are so many nice features. I mean, all sequencers, all DAW nowadays, they have basically all the same functions and shit. But for me, Ableton nowadays, it was tough in the beginning just to get the program as itself. But nowadays, I just don't wanna do it without it anymore. It's just great for me. Ableton just super intuitive and just super mad fun on Ableton. Personally,
I'm Pro Tools, but you know I loved Cubase. I used Cubase early 2000s. You know what I mean? I had the Crypt version. I didn't pay for this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I bought Pro Tools. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure we all been there. We all been there. We did that before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like my shit to be official. No, I don't want to have that Crypt shit because you might cause problems later and shit. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
But I had that. I had that with the X 2000. My first thing I ever used was an ASR 10. I had that at 95 and shit. You know what I mean? I started making beats in like 94, 95.
Sonic, man. I also have that. Still.
Yep. It used to it gets hot and freezes up and shit, huh? And it'd be freezing. You have a dope beat, and you can't do nothing but turn it off and lose your beat. You know, if you didn't save it on them little floppy disks, that shit was crazy. And I didn't like. The only thing I didn't like about the ASR 10 is the quantize. Cause you try to do the drums and it'll be not exactly how you did it. You try to fix it and fix it and fix it to the point where I was just taking loops going boom. So I'd be like boom, 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 and then hit the kit. You know what I mean? And do that shit because I couldn't fuck with that sequencer. It was too crazy. Yeah, the 2000 XL, when I got that, like, this should do the drums. So I used to mix them together, the ASR and MIDI together and shit. Because it give you them two different sounds together. You know what I mean? You know how the XL got that real like high treble-ish sound and shit, but it's got that, you know what I mean? Then the ASR got that real muddy fucking sound and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even get it clear and shit. But the filters on the ASR is dope. To fucking bring the bass and shit, like, yo, that shit. But
also,
same with that S950, yeah, that shit right there got that ring. When you bring it up to that ring, you can fucking hear that shit. Like, yo, that's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? People try. I mean, I'm curious about this S2400 that's coming out. I want to, I already bought mine. I'm waiting to get it and shit. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. The Isla, the S2400. It's gonna have the same. I mean, hope this dude, for me saying this shit, this dude better give me some type of discount or something. But it has the same type of memory of the SP1200. It's got the same board, the same sound. It's a 12-bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, and it actually got it to where you can, if you wanted to use 12-bit on the first and second track, the third and fourth, you can use 24-bit, like on the same machine and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it give you that dusty and clean at the same time. You know what I mean? And it's a sequencer. You know what I mean? It looks almost like it. Look it up. It's the S2400. It's Isla, ISLA. When you get to your time, you'll see it. And he wound up with like $900. You know what I mean? But I've been waiting for it since like October because it's his own company. They build them. You know what I mean? And it's dope. I mean, I'm like, y'all, I'm a hip hop. When y'all guys, if you ever come out to New York again, y'all let me know. I'm only 2 hours away. I'll take you to record stores out here and shit. There's spots out here still and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I told Eagle one time we didn't end up getting to meet up when y'all came out because some other shit. I don't know what happened. Something happened. Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
When we're in the States, we're always all over the place, man. From Boston, New York, Philly, like.
See, I'm in between Boston and New York. Connecticut's right between Mass and you know what I mean? So y'all coming back, stop by. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
To see like y'all vision on how to do shit is dope because you're on fucking another part of the planet. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. You know what I mean? Like I was on the phone last night with Sir Jinx for a while. We was talking anyway. He talks about shit. He's in California, so that's like that's probably almost the same distance from me to California, me to y'all. It's on the opposite. You know what I mean? Instead of overland, it's
you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. So You know, it's just crazy that the water separates us. You know what I mean? The crazy thing, that if you look at all the planets, all the land, it looks like it was all one at one time and shit. You know what I'm saying? But who knows what happened? But yeah, I appreciate. I mean, I appreciate. We could keep going for a little bit longer because I know you guys probably mad late where you are. But I just want to tell you I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? It's really dope that y'all support. You know what I mean? I really believe if y'all didn't do what y'all did, this hip hop might be a lot more danger of dying and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all kind of like helped keep it alive and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all like the last breed of holding the torch with this shit. You know what I mean? Like especially because I know overseas is way bigger than it is over here. But people overseas tell me that other shit's starting to creep in over there too. That bullshit music. You know what I mean? So, and I'm like, for real? They're like, yeah. But when y'all telling me though that Run DMC and all them were influencing you around the same time they were influencing me, that I'm like, damn, that was there that early and shit. That's dope and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because to get it over there, like people used to actually, what you said is to be a dude that used to go on New York on the weekends, right? And then he come to high school with them same tapes. He's like, yo, I recorded it when I was out there. I said, yo, McGee, I ain't giving you no copy. He show it playing, and I'm like, damn, motherfucker, why you teasing me and shit? Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, boom, and, you know, we had stations out here, but there wasn't like it was out there. I know you know who Apathy is, you know what I mean? In Blackistan,
Right.
Blackistan came up with me and shit. Like before he went to Apathy, we did a lot of music together and shit. He got locked, he got out of jail. He was over, not in this house, but my other spot. But we did a lot of stuff together, you know what I mean? But yeah, but I don't know where I'm going with that. It was something I was saying that matched what it was saying, but I know that you guys was doing is I appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? I really do. And I'm sure the brothers in here too, Leo RecNplay and Pariah Rebel, they're part of, we do, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, we the Producers Corner. We do, I know that that Illegal knows. What we do is we're on Facebook. If you guys got Facebook, let me know. I don't know if I have you on my Facebook. But what I do is I post a album every week on the Facebook, and producers just say these guys right here all around the world make beats off that album and post it in the comments of the post. And it's every week. And then every week I do a live show playing all their beats, and the winner picks their top 5. And by the way, Pariah, you won this week, yo. To let you know right now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you won.
Oh,
this
that's
week.
dope.
So, like, yo, I forgot. I just realized
That's really dope.
Yeah. When they see this, they're gonna be like this week because the show's gonna be on next week. But yeah, no, you won this week, so he picked you. And, you know what I mean? And we've been doing it. This is our 145th week doing it right now. We've been doing it every week and shit.
Wow.
And then we started doing the Producers Corner logo, and I like to get y'all shirts too. You know what I'm saying? Like I know Illegal got his. You know what I'm saying? Like,
word.
But I met Illegal through 9. You know what I mean? Like really, he's like, yo, I said, tell these dudes I want to get them involved with this too. He's like, okay, because we're all doing this for the same reason. I mean, you know what I mean? You know, for the love of the hip hop in the first place. You know, and
Right.
it's appreciation. You know what I mean? So Lords of the Underground. Like, what's the features you got on the Lords of the Underground album? Got any features, or is it just them? Or
Actually, yeah, not it's just them, you know. Like if you realize they have done an album basically since 2007, and even that album they took off the market again. So basically, they have done only their first 2 really albums. That's what they really count, you know, as the real albums in the 90s. So it has been forever since they released actually some real Lords of the Underground music,
dope.
you know. They was doing solo stuff and everything, you know, but like as Lords. And the crazy shit too is though, like we did this album within let's say in a 3-week span, you know, while they was on tour here in Europe. Yeah. Like we started literally on the first day of the tour by them picking some beats in the hotel room. And then whenever we hit the new city, I was traveling with them the whole tour. So whenever we hit the new city, we just like trying to get into the studio after the show or on some off days, you know, and then a shout out to Carlos from Latfor Entertainment. He made it basically happen because he was doing the tour. So he organized like some studios and all types of shit, you know, driving the guys around. But we was really knocking the album out during those 3 weeks. And there was a whole different vibe and a different like, you know, state of mind, I would say, because we mainly obviously record also like just with, you know, verses over the internet or whatever, you know. It's like, well, in the all the way in the beginning, the first Snowgoons album was pretty much all also recorded in Europe while on tour, you know. But then after the years, of course, with the internet, it makes it so much easier. So we had a lot of verses from people, or I mean, you know, it's kind of half-half. Sometimes we go into the studio with the guys, but sometimes you don't have the chance. But with this album, like we was there, basically, I was even like recording it, you know, like we rented studios and I was sitting there recording the guys, and, you know, we was coming through to like most of the studio sessions to be there. And like, it was just a whole different dynamic, you know, we were so much involved in everything, basically, from like picking the beats. We even like switched up and changed some beats while we was recording and stuff like that. And we rarely had like a process of a project like that, you know. A little bit similar then also with Onyx, because the Snowmads album, the last one with Onyx, like half the joints was also like recorded on while we on tour, you know. Like the single Kill the Mic, for example, was actually, we did that song, it was a spontaneous song on a live show. Like Fredro told me, like, he picked that beat already and he didn't have an idea what to do. And then during the show, he was like, yo, drop that one beat. And I didn't realize, what is he talking about? And then he was like, the beat that I picked just the other day. And I was like, oh shit. So I throw on the beat while we was doing the show, basically. And then they start like chanting, and you know, if you heard the Kill the Mic joint, you will see it's a very kind of live joint where they basically just chanting, you know. And so they did it kind of freestyle, and then we had somebody recording that song on video, basically, just because he was recording the show. So what we did a couple days later, like, they really took the lyrics and everything, and we re-recorded the song in the studio. But it was actually a really live song that just got created. I mean, obviously they adjusted a little bit the lyrics, but overall it was a song that was freestyled and created live. So, you know, shit like this wasn't for us like really happening back in the days, but like now it's we really fortunate to, you know, travel with a lot of artists and then do the music. So that was a whole different process too. Yeah.
That's crazy. You guys, isn't Jay with the Damager in Germany?
Yeah, he lives in Berlin, if I'm correct. Yep.
You guys got stuff you guys did together, or you're gonna do together? Or?
I tried to get him down a couple times, but I don't know. He probably don't really feel it. I don't know. Like he's supposed to be on one of the, you know, we have these joints bringing back the 90s. That's when it actually also started with 9, when he was on the first part. And we have a second part, and he's supposed to be already on the first part, Cheru. Like, he was like, yeah, I do it. It's only 8 bars. I will drop it, you know. And I keep asking him a couple times, but then I don't know. He just not really interested. So it's all good. It's all off, you know.
No, I know exactly. I know.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's the producer's life anyway. Like harassing the rappers to get the verses done and shit. But after a certain point, when I'm like asking a couple times and I feel like, all right, there is not much interest, then why should I force it? You know, it's all good. You know? So. No, we haven't really done anything with Cheru, though, to be honest. I will probably reach out again and see if he's down for the third part, but, you know, it's always up to him then.
You know what probably happened? He'll probably move back to the United States, and then he'll probably end up doing it while he's here. You know how shit like that happens and shit? Now he's not over here. Like, damn, we could have did it while you was here and shit like that. You know, that's how shit happens when you try to find something, you can't find it, and you find it when you're not looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit. No, that's fucking dope. I mean, it's dope. It's dope. I mean, I have questions. I had questions in my mind when you guys were talking, and I started listening to what you were saying, and I forgot and shit. I was like, yo, because when you're talking, I remember, like, boom, I gotta be one of the people that just writes down the question. I'm off the head person, you know what I mean? And it's not a good thing, but it's like when I be doing these Zooms, what I do is I start, like I'm saying, I have all these rappers and people in it, and then they just start talking to each other, and I'm like, they say interesting shit, and like when I hear what they're saying, then I'll ask them what they were talking about in between it. You know what I'm saying? So this is my actual first Zoom chat where I'm just talking to a group that's together and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that without other people in there. Like when yesterday, like I said, we had Sticky and Do It All, and they didn't know each other was going to be in there. So they're like, oh shit. So it's like, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's dope. I mean, I'm going to keep doing these shows, and I like to get y'all on future ones too. Like, and you know what I mean? Because I'm going to be doing a crate digging one soon. And I'm sure that when I'm going to be looking, just talking about records, and we bring records and show them in the Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Like about gold records. I'm going to be doing that one soon. You know what I mean? I'm just looking for straight crate digging for records people. You know what I mean? To show who got the best records or some shit. Like, look what I got. You know what I mean? Because I got a lot of shit, but I don't got no big, expensive, exclusive shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all the hip hop shit, the 90s and 80s, I got the original shit, but they're all beat to shit because I used to take the middle piece out So when I DJ, I could pull it and put it in back. You know when you get the records, I had that plastic, and if you try to push it back in, fucking. So I would take all that shit out, and I fucked up all my records because of that shit. All good records, like my Biz first album is like the worst fucked up. You know what I mean? But if that shit was mint, you know what I mean? I'd be like, yo, because Biz Markey's first album was crazy. You know what I mean? Like all the records is fucking beat the shit. And then I lost a lot of records, like going to parties. Every DJ a party with someone, you guys have records, and you got some of theirs, and they got yours, and then you never see them again. Actually, one dude had like 5 or 6 dope ones at the 2 Don't Believe the Hypes, the singles. You know what I mean? And then he ended up shooting himself like years later, and I never got them records back. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn.
Yes, sir.
My Mikey D records. The dude that introduced me to him, every time he come, we go, we need to use those records if we're gonna do a show. I never got them shits back. I had to Out of Control 2 of them, and the Coming in the House, and then I had the We Get Rough single. I don't got them no more. You know what I'm saying? Because of that shit. It's crazy, and I tell Mike that. You know what I mean? Mike's like my big brother in this whole hip hop shit. You know what I mean? Because I was a little kid, and when I first heard him rhyming, he was dissing LL Cool J. I was like, who's this dude? You know what I mean? Because he's got a big voice, but he was little. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom.
Yeah.
But he's highly respected in Queens in them park units. When I introduced him to Large Professor, like after a long time, like I was doing interviews. We was doing this movie thing like 2005 or 6. And when they saw each other, Large Professor was bigging them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think because of main source, they didn't care about that shit. They was just excited that they saw each other. You know, that was dope. But yeah, I'd like to see y'all do with more people. I mean, is there anybody that you would like to work with y'all haven't got able to work with yet?
Sorry again? You was
Anybody, if you could pick like 5 artists, you know, it could be group or artists. I mean, I'll let you individually pick it. Who would you like to work with that you haven't been able to work with? If you could get 5 different more people, it could be a group or an artist.
Yeah, if I start real quick, I mean, it's not a secret though. Like, I think since I mentioned the Illmatic album anyway, it's definitely Nas, obviously.
That would be dope.
Like, that's number 1. And I think even we would definitely like do a dope record, you know, like it's, I would be kind of that confident to say like we would have a dope beat for Nas, you know. So yeah, it's Nas. Then I would say I would definitely still like to work is Fat Joe, maybe. Fat Joe would be dope.
Yeah, you got the hard beats for him. Yeah,
man, yeah, there's so many, you know, but like obviously it's more like all the legends, you know, like obviously Big Daddy Kane and, you know, all the goats basically, Rakim and shit. That would be definitely dope to do something with them, you know, like I guess that's pretty much on everybody's list, you know. That's pretty universal kind of in a way. So it's not a big of a secret in a way, you know. But yeah, let's see what's coming up, because we got like I said, bringing back the 90s joint part 3. We will definitely have some more legends on that as well, like some surprising shit, you know. So definitely got to watch out for that when it drops.
You guys ever like linked up with KRS-One at all or anything? Because I think KRS-One would sound dope on your production.
Yeah, we actually did a remix once for CY Martial Law. Like he had a joint and we did the remix for it. And but he had to, I don't know, there was something going on with his label or something, and then they had to take it off the market. I think it's still flooding around on the internet, on YouTube or something. But yeah, never really officially worked with KRS. Yeah, would be dope too.
Yeah, that's like my favorite person, period, when it comes to this. Right now, like I'm asking through this whole situation, where's KRS-One? We need him right now to talk and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? That Chuck D premiere shit's crazy. I like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I like it.
You know what I mean? To hear shit like that's like a breath of fresh air to hear these guys get back together. You know what I mean? I believe that one time Chuck D was mad at Primo because of the 10 crack commandments and shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. He didn't like you because Chuck D's against that shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, but it's dope to see that they're back together working. But I'm not gonna take much more of your time. You want something you want to left to tell people how they can get a hold of you, get your merchandise, set it up. Because I know you guys is really late where you're at and shit. Go ahead, let the people know.
Yeah, well, you know, we obviously Snowgoons, that's the house name. If you type that in Google, you will come up to all the official pages, you know, there's no doubt about that. And like specifically like that now and Crypt here, we started like exactly 2 years ago, we started our own merch platform called goonsgear.com. because you know, like all different people was handling our merch, but we was always into like the merch as well. Like, I mean, you know, we all hip hop guys, we all into kind of fashion in a way, or in certain fashion when it comes to hip hop clothing and shit. That's like so much bonded to the culture. And so it was always important for us to drop some dope shit as far as merch, you know. So that's why we decided to do our own merch website where we actually selling our own merch, and that's goonsgear.com. And just for a couple of days ago, we expand and we put up some artifacts merch, and we're gonna get some way more merch like popping now in the future, you know. So that's gonna be our kind of basically second stand now beside the music is gonna do it big with the merchandise.
I gotta get you guys. You guys are all on Facebook or no?
Yeah.
And it's your real names, or it's your name, like, you know what I mean, like that's your name on Facebook? Or I mean, I don't want to broadcast to people we get getting friend requests or something. You know what I mean? Hit me up, illegal. Hit me up with the names in the inbox and shit.
I will do that.
You know what I mean? So I had the brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it's wrong. I mean, these brothers in here are good brothers. Leo and Pariah are good, and they're loyal brothers, and they're both dope ass producers too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, but yeah,
Thanks,
man. Yeah. So
you from Germany, Pariah? Like what part?
No,
of
from Norway.
From Norway.
From Norway.
Sorry, I confused. Yeah.
Leo RecNplay from Germany. He's in Germany.
Right. Oh, yeah. All right. So I could. But which part from Norway you are, or which city?
Just outside Oslo, an hour outside. I've actually met you a couple of times at your concerts in Oslo.
In Yesheim and shit, I guess. You've been to Yesheim? One of the Yesheim shows?
No.
No? Okay.
I wasn't at Yesheim, but at the Rockefeller in Oslo.
Okay. Yeah, with La Coga and shit last time.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what's up.
What part of Germany you at, Leo?
Right now.
Where's I can't hear you. You gotta cut it out.
Frankfurt City.
Oh, word up.
All right. Yeah, that's dope. But yeah, I appreciate you, brothers, man. You know I'm gonna be getting y'all, try to get y'all back in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. This is early stage, eighth episode. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all have a blessed night. And I'm gonna hit you up. You'll hit me with that name. I'm gonna add you on the thing.
I will.
You can see on my page when these guys are doing the sample challenges. You don't gotta say nothing. Just go see. You'll see how they are. We got a lot of dope producers, and you know it's more Germany and Norway. We got Portugal. We got where, Pariah? There's people everywhere, right? There's people.
Man, I just been to Japan in March, like right before the lockdown, early March. I was in Japan, right, and I was doing a producer kind of schooling, whatever there, right? Just like a little meeting. And there was some kids, man, I was bugging out. Like what they was doing with the machines, it was crazy. Yeah. I lost my mind, really. Like they had to basically at the spot dig some records and then flip it in like 5 minutes or whatever, right? And they gave them like the wackest, craziest records, like some Japanese folks music, whatever, right? But like, what they flipped, I was like, I bugged out, like for real. Like these kids, there was like 3 kids and they all did like 3 bangers. Like it was crazy. I was like, wow. And then once again, man, I realized how big hip hop and how far it comes all around the world. It's so beautiful, man. And definitely. So we also appreciate you and your work, man. Like the producer corner is dope, and I think we have to push that a little bit more as well on our platforms, because it's like you said, we're all in the same boat, like we do this for the love of the music, and that's very important that we stick together, man.
Yeah, because that's all we got. We all the fuck we got right now. This, you know what I mean? Like especially the dope music's becoming extinct. You know what I mean? But I think because of what just happened with this whole crazy virus and all this police brutality, all this is gonna come back to the dope music again. There's gonna be stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? You're not gonna hear this potty and shit now because nobody's want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's angry, so this is where the good music is gonna come back. That real fucking feeling music. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
And that's what that's what we need. You know what I mean? We got.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's why Chuck D. Yeah. That's why Chuck D recorded a song, because he speaks when he got something to say. Yeah. And now it's the time, That's why we reached out to Wise Intelligent. I'm pretty sure you got something to say too.
Yeah. Wise, definitely Wise. There's a lot, Brother Jay too. A lot of dudes like these.
Exactly.
Guys, you know what I'm saying? I got things that they're going to say. Daddy O. Daddy-O's,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Anybody that, Immortal Technique, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many
Mhm.
people that are like, this is their option right now to fucking get in there, you know what I mean? Not only bring up their careers, but to teach the people and shit, you know what I'm saying? And bring good music back, you know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly.
This is the time, you know what I mean? It's not party time right now and shit. We can't even party anyways. We gotta stay in our houses and shit, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, I can't
Right.
even watch the DJ doing their thing on Instagram and all that, because then they're starting to play shit I don't even want to hear, and I'm not in the mood for it, so I just go back. That's why I do shit like this, is for your mind shit, to learn off of shit, you know what I mean? And
Okay.
people are gonna learn more who you guys are by seeing this now. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? And Leo RecNplay and Pariah Rebel, people see them in the challenges all the time and shit. They don't know what they look like. They're gonna see who they are. You know what I mean? Like when we see faces to who people. Remember when we were younger, we didn't know who none of these people looked like. They had no videos and shit. You know what I mean? Till the videos came out and like, oh shit, that's him. I bugged out the way Nas looked. That's Nas. That don't look like the dude that's rapping on the song and shit. You know what I mean? It bugged me out. Like, for real, you know what I mean? Because you're a Streets disciple, Marap's trifle. I didn't know who he was then, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. But I'm gonna let you brothers go. I don't want to take more of your time. I appreciate y'all taking your time with me. And yeah, I'm gonna just stop recording and we can still talk on the door, all right? All right, so let me do it right now. Hold on.
Peace out, yo.
All right.